Business with our partners 2 Degrees. Butter prices are coming down. Wait for it. And new rules are going to cut red tape for food exporters. Kenney joins me from Business Desk, agricultural superstar. Good morning, sir.
Morning, Garth.
No ni-hao?
No.
You've actually spent a bit of time, haven't you, up and down to China, looking at a lot of our big exporters. So you kind of know a bit about the market there.
Yeah, China's a fascinating place. Last night when I couldn't sleep, I was up watching TikToks of the parade. But China, I've been to Shanghai twice in the past 6 months. It's just a fascinating place.
Yeah, right. Butter prices, they're on the way down.
Yeah, consumers rejoice. At yesterday's global dairy trade auction, the butter price fell 2.5% to about $7,000 a tonne. If you cast your mind back a month or two ago, you couldn't go a day without a headline about butter prices. Quite bizarrely, the finance minister called Miles Hurrell, the Fonterra boss, down for a please explain. It didn't go particularly well.
Oh, we saw that all over the place, didn't we?
Yeah, so... But the $7,000 a tonne mark, that's like that's down about $1,000 off its peak. Right. So at every auction since about May, the butter price has actually fallen. I spoke to one analyst yesterday, and they said it's probably got about $1,000 a tonne to go, so it'll probably fall another.
Right.
Yeah.
There's momentum downwards.
Interestingly, actually, speaking of China, yesterday's auction, 80% of the butter sold on the platform went to China. It was their largest ever purchase of butter.
Wow.
Off the platform. But the reason for that is, well, the reason the butter price is going down is there's just a whole lot of cheap butter around at the moment.
Can we get some?
No. But the Europeans, there's a lot of cheap butter coming out of there. Yeah. Their butter price is down like 15% in the past month. The US is fallen as well, so that just naturally will drag our butter price down as well.
So we're not going to see like the COVID queues with people hoarding toilet paper and taking it on the plane. We're not going to see people coming back from their summer holiday in Europe with a case of butter or something from Sainsbury's.
I would say that European butter's not as good as ours, but I also wouldn't be running out to Woolworths and trying to get your cheap butter just yet.
Yeah, so it's a wee bit like petrol prices and oil prices. It takes a while for it to actually flow through. But it could be coming.
Could be.
In time for Christmas, when we're told we should all eat loads more anyway. Look, speaking of food, there's been an announcement about food labelling rules. Who's this for the benefit of? What's happening here?
Yeah, so from the end of September, 25th or something, the food exporters, they won't need to apply for an exemption of New Zealand standards for a country they're importing into. Right. Which is...
So this is if you're making something, a food product, and you're shipping it overseas, say to, I don't know, to China, for example, you've got to comply with all their rules about what's on the packet, haven't you?
Yes.
But you've also got to comply with New Zealand's?
Yeah, well, that would be the case. So
even if it's not going to be on the shelves here?
Yes, and then you had to apply for an exemption product by product, so it seemed slightly odd.
I guess they're trying to sort of protect anything that comes from here so that it meets our standards as well as theirs, but it seems like a lot of faff. Yeah,
so now you just don't have to.
Oh, good.
And the exporters think this is great. The dairy companies said, this is excellent, we can actually go and, I think their words were, make it easier to create new high-value products without, having to... You had to gazette it. It was very odd.
That sounds very old-fashioned.
So the Food Safety Minister, Andrew Hoggard, has sent his officials away to work on the dietary supplements.
Because they're not covered, anything with a therapeutic claim or any of that kind of stuff. It's a wee bit trickier because you want to make sure that, I guess the worst case is you send something and it turns up in the market in China and it's no good, and everybody from all New Zealand product gets blamed unfairly as a result. We've sort of seen stuff like that happen before, haven't we?
Yeah.
Now look, just before we go, there's a wee bit of trouble on the market there for one takeover of a company, Vital.
Vital, yeah. So it's vitally important the shareholders engage in this. So this is quite interesting. Vital's quite small on the NZX, but it's been taken over by Tate, which is like a critical communications provider.
They're doing like the emergency radio for the police and the ambulance
and
kind of thing.
Stuff. Yeah, so they're trying to take over Vital, but for the offer to go through, it's got to have 90% acceptance. It's currently only got about 69%. It's got to get to 90. ACC is holding out. They won't say whether they're going to accept or not. But there is also a potential, there's quite a few shareholders that just aren't engaged. They either just don't know whether they're a shareholder, just forgotten about their shares in Vital. It is very small, so it's probably quite easy to do. But the ghost holders, as they're called, might
tip it over?
Yeah, might tip it over.
Right.
So you might want to check if you're a Vital shareholder.
All right, thanks very much, Riley Kennedy. That's Riley Kennedy from Business Desk, and we talk business every day thanks to our partners, 2 Degrees.